So this next poet, I kind of wanted to have a 10-piece funk band opening for her as she walked out on the stage. In fact, I might have promised her that that was going to happen. Anyway, it might still happen at some point, but we're celebrating this debut poetry book. This is once again another veteran poet, first book. Junie Désil. Junie Désil is of Haitian ancestry. She's born of immigrant parents on the traditional territories of the Ganegahage, on an island, known as Diadiage, otherwise known as Montreal. She was raised in Treaty 1 territory in Winnipeg, survived the prairies, as it were. Junie has performed at various literary events and festivals. Her work has appeared in Room Magazine, Prism International, the Capilano Review, CV2, and so on. A recovering academic, yes, after my heart, a UBC alumnus, and most recently a participant in the Simon Fraser University's Writers' Studio. Junie currently works in the downtown east side of Vancouver, which is one of the places that we've crossed paths over the years, but an early feminist scenes in Vancouver since the early aughts. So an old friend for me relative to these territories here on the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh lands where she works, and she lives currently, she used to live in Kikite territory, so-called New West, but has moved recently to Katzie, Kwantlen, and Stalo territory, and a little bit too far away in a time when we can't cross regions. So missing Junie Désil. This is a thunderous book, and I sure hope you all make time for it. Please join me in welcoming the beautiful Junie Désil.
Here. It's not the same ocean, I know, but ocean is ocean and it's salty. You still have to watery squint your eyes when the sun blazing scorches the surface, shimmers, the horizon shifts. It's still the same sound pattern of the recede. Come in, recede further, come in again. The sound of pressure builds, crashes, pounds. The tug and insistent pull when you're in tune with the ocean. Sink toes, this land borrowed far from another, this constant familiar uneasiness. How to write about what you carry but don't know. Strange inheritance one carries, everyday code understandable if born of Haitian soil, submerged in salt sea, bracing rivers, falls. I start with origins. I was not here. I am not there. Rather, the line from here today tethers collective trauma, umbilical, centuries old. Those bones a bridge over oceans, triangulated passages. A bridge. And so, succumb, let go. I'm afraid I'll be overcome, envahi, engulfed, swallowed. Instead, stoic, I keep this ocean behind my eyes, my heart at bay, slow grab, drag, rake, sudden emptiness of the ocean floor. Rationalize, trace the origins, collective trauma. Here, no real home, as in, what does it matter? It's happened. Zombies, reimagined response, enslavement etched in bones. Ask mother about zombies, the back home kind. She won't speak except to start and stop, words caught in her throat. I ask father. I am a man of God. Don't pay attention to such things. Silence. So I ask books from the library, keep them from touching other books, or caressed by the same night wind against my back. I ask for help, guidance to write these words, offer a prayer, remembering, give thanks before asking favors. Zombie, zombification process, de-zombification, Haitian zombie. Ask the library and the internet vague and also specific questions, at least 11 different ways. I used quotations, asterisks. I tried zombie, Walking Dead, even comparative verses. Salt, ocean, eat salt, réanimation. At night, the pile of library books stay outside my bedroom. René Depest's Hadriana in All My Dreams, Wade Davis's Passage of Darkness, maybe the books with Vevey drawings like stick and poke tattoos, their shapes, arrows, draw down the loas to language of gods I don't know. I don't want supernatural gifts. Jump at shadows, words rattle about, stop their noise as sky train wheels scree around the bend. Luminous eye of the train blind my wide open ones. Wonder if I've accidentally summoned these gods to wake this husk. Crack of the whip call, our dead's lips sewed, black thread or wire might not answer. Stuck. I ask for help, read accounts appropriated, reinvented white tales of zombies. Watch, I Am Legend, 28 Days, World War Z, Night of the Living Dead, Shaun of the Dead, iZombie, Warm Bodies, Walking Dead, Santa Clarita Diet, Dawn of the Dead. Now, mass culture, mass consumption zombie, disease vector, technology symbol for mindless labor, not quite slave labor, everyone for themselves zombie, sexual liberation taboo, zombie futurism, in which zombie has consumed the consumerist escapist fantasy. When mother disappears into the crisp winter darkness too, remember old white folks, zombie-like shuffle, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, fend off unwanted advances. He's old. He doesn't mean anything. While father sits, blue mercury idling, breath, fog, wait. They'll rummage in her bag to make sure no thing has been lifted. Theft, against company policy, simultaneously ply her with stale, bland Christmas cake charity, also against company policy. Triple shift, work nights, drain the day, cook and clean, no pay, sleep. Petrified, I've absorbed fear somewhere. Lullabies and kisses, stern admonishment on my deportment, how to be a good black girl, between harried cooking instructions. Curious, anxious questions shooed away or responded to, don't remember, child sleep, late night crawl on my belly, snake-like. Listen to adult conversations, hush-toned over back-home food, heavy, buttery, yellow Haitian cake, chased down with instant coffee, lait carnation, or sweet, thick, jewel red, green vodka syrup or crémasse, creamy smooth, guests only. Strain to hear the Haitian patois voices rise, fall, punctuated, preternatural lullaby, silence between fickle remembrance, memory. How to write about zombies when you're a generation removed from the soil and several generations removed from Languinay, and colonial words crowd your mouth, still your tongue, and sever the connections between land, language, self, whitewash at best. How to write about these things that terrify and resolve into odd shapes at night, lurk in shadows of the smooth heart muscle, joints of bones, marrows, tip of fingers and tongue. This is how to write about zombies. Silence met with silence, dread imbued in every cell, feverish search. Write about zombies, you'll need iron will. Brace your heart. Zombie. There are worse things than ghosts, worse than spirits that make you cry, laugh incessantly. It doesn't matter. Worse things than hauntings, than spirits crouched in corners, nursing ancestral wounds. Ancient family magic on both sides collide, suck life. I'm losing weight, she says. Teeth are falling out, lisps, asthma, wheezes, breath catches, weeps, spider-webbed glass heart. She will die slowly, but she won't really die. That's important. She will be pronounced dead. That's very important. The guardian of the cemetery summons. She, zombie-like. Mother, newly single, she weeps incessantly, I think her cowardly, at times for her unwavering faith, how she looks forward to this shiny heaven, believes herself ruined and yet accommodates. Accommodate. We have made accommodations. Guinea is heaven and heaven Guinea. There is beauty in believing in an after so hard, a balm for the present wounds. Gonzo. Seabrook, journalist of sorts, writes Magic Island, introduces and popularizes the zombie, his accounts neither fiction or embroidery. Gonzo. Before Hunter coined the term 1971, just embedded journalism, coined 2003. American military personnel stationed in Haiti, 1919 to 1934, land publishing contracts, write about their exploits. Before Gonzo, embedded military, before embedded journalists, reporting subjective history repeats itself, repackaged. Nothing new, just the same narrative thread. Light-headed, either the Dunhills or the thread, likely both. Smoke ring into the light-studded sky. White zombies play on, play on, play on. Phone screen. Here's a story about dead men working sugar fields. Worked for the Haitian American Sugar Company, Hasco. Hasco, founded by Charles Steinhem, John Christie, and Frank Corpay, August 5, 1912, registered in Wilmington, Delaware, with a $5 million capital. 1915, Hasco's operations under threat, anxieties over German business interests, need to dominate and secure economic interests in Haiti, U.S. Marine invasion and occupation. 1918, Hasco increased need and demand, bodies to work the fields, more bodies, bonuses on wages as incentive, entire families register their bodies, more bodies to harvest sugarcane. Old man C. Joseph, his wife Croyance bring bodies, more bodies, harvest bitter sugar. Anyways, those dead folks working the sugarcane fields like it's 1820. About that, Croyance felt sorry for them. All that work in the fields for Hasco, bland food, took them to the market. It would be fun, she thought. Had already fed them unsalted boiled plantain and meat, bland food. They were zombies after all. Single file shuffled to the market, spied a vendor selling tablette, sweet peanut brittle. This would be a nice treat. They ate the tablette, salted, reanimated, leapt up, ran off towards their respective graves, reburying themselves, free to finally die.